All right. How's it going? We are back for another episode of Can You Connect? And this is Mr. Walk That Walk. In this episode, we are going to be discussing trust. So we're going to be going over that. So basically, our family usually contributes to our ability to trust our partner. So being able to trust early in your relationship, it helps create a happy, it makes things easier. You're able to be happier and you're able to having a physical connection with somebody is also a bit easier. Um, and due to that, it will be easier to either self-disclose or express express how you feel due to having that trust. However, if there's been prior relationships where people have broke your trust, then it may be a bit more challenging. Being hurt or experiencing a loss and or even being fearful of rejection. Those things can harm your trust, but it can heal over time. And if it's able to heal over time, then you're able to have that trusting relationship where you're able to be more optimistic and be more positive. And with those things, it's easier to deal with your partner if they're, let's say, not doing, or if they're not on their best behavior, let's say that. However, if there is no trust in a relationship, then it could kind of breed doubts and concerns. And, maybe the person could believe that their partner doesn't love them anymore due to that lack of trust. And it's easier. Like it makes things easier when you start with trusting somebody and leading with that because you don't have to wonder, oh, are they doing something behind my back, or are they trying to be like mischievous or like cheat or any of those things. But if you do think like that, then that's when maybe healing from that, or healing if it's a past relationship, working on meditating and just really putting that on that relationship so you're not carrying it to the next. And if it's hard to deal with that, then that's when we say, oh, therapy might be helpful to help brainstorm why is it hard to either move on or just heal in general. Um because I understand, like I've been to relationships where, let's say, the trust is there, and then maybe they do something that they don't usually do, or they're not being honest with you. So then that may breed mistrust, and then through that mistrust, now you're like questioning everything, and you're like, man, I'm like, was that a situation? Like, wait, did they do that? And you're trying to piece stuff together like a puzzle because your partner's not being totally honest with you. So it could cause other things when they're not being honest. So, and sometimes we do also want to give people space. So we don't want to force anybody to tell us certain things about themselves. Even if we ask a question, we may ask, and if they say they're not ready, then allow them to share that on their own time when they are ready, and just continue to provide a safe and comfortable space for them so that they feel comfortable in the future opening up to you. Because if you tell them something and let's say your reaction is hostile, or you're like, oh my God, what's this? Or why didn't you tell me before? Or if your reaction is anger, then nobody's going to want to open up to you. Or if it's extreme, or if you're blowing it out of proportion and not just being considerate or compassionate, then nobody's going to want to open up. So you always want to create a safe environment for people to feel comfortable around you, so that your partner can open up and express how they feel. So this will be the ending of this episode. Of course, we're going to be supporting Black-owned businesses. When I went to the ATL last year, we support, we went to different restaurants and different events. One restaurant we went to was it was New Orleans Creole, it's Creole Cuisine. Yes, Creole Cuisine. Yep, got it right. So that restaurant, I'm gonna say, don't walk in. If you walk in, you might be waiting. So just you could get on a waiting list to go in person, or you could have a party, I think. But the food was good. Like when we sat down, food was on point. I had a shrimp boy. Yeah, I had a shrimp boy and sandwich, and that was good. It was real good. I also had a veggie sandwich that was it was one of the best meals I had in Atlanta. So it was pretty good. So if you're in Atlanta area, definitely check them out. I'll put all their information in the description. I don't think I have a website, so I'll just put their names so you can look them up on Google, um, phone number and address to where they're at. And of course, I'm a clinical social worker in the state of Maryland. So, if you need therapy, just send me an email and we can set that up. I'll do like individual, I can do family therapy, but I'm more interested in couples therapy. The main two I'm mostly interested in is individual couples therapy. So, if there's any interest in that, just check the description. That will also be there. And yeah, I think this will conclude this episode. Definitely thank you for watching, and have a good rest of the night and a good rest of the week.